welcome, my love machines. My wife and I are most tickled to see you. So as you may see, yes, apparently things in our first year haven't gotten so bad as for us to throw our wedding ring to the lake. Quite the opposite, really. I nearly never take it off. I believe if I added up the collective seconds it's left its home on my hand, I'd only come up with a few minutes. In fact, when things seem to reach an ultimate low, I look to the ring and half crying and half laughing, I say, well, for better or for worse. Yes, married life, it can be a bit hectic and heretic. For instance, when I received this ring last year, it was a bit big for my finger. And I've been on a journey to find the time to resize it. I still have not found the time. Finding the time, that slippery rascal, an elusive thing. This year has been all sunshine, rainbows, tornadoes, and painbows for me. Yesterday evening, I came to commune with Randy and began the process of blessing this space. I was inspired to dig in the Randy archives and watch the video footage of last year's wedding address. And as I watched, I was again inspired by myself and couldn't be happier to have a wife so courageous, hilarious, and strong. Listening to her speak, I was reminded of the growth and the shifting that has occurred in my body since then. I want to touch on how life and the journey changes us so quickly, and how fast there is a turnover and we become another one of ourselves. And it requires realignment. And that's why I feel the importance of being right here, right now, renewing my vows. It's an ongoing process, like I said, like my car says, just married. I believe marriage is to be a commitment, renewed yearly, if not more so. And so today, I marry the woman sitting before you, a different woman than I did a year ago. Now, I'd like to sing you a song by Joan Armatrading. And before I start, I'd like to remind us of a piece of imagery I presented to you at the wedding. I presented to you at the wedding the scene, as you may remember, was myself walking this road home to my shack, not feeling encouraged to walk home alone, to be alone. And as I walked, the beautiful image appeared to me of me waiting up with the light on for me to come home. I want to build upon this image with the help of this song. I dedicate this song to anyone who feels it is for them. And I especially dedicate it to myself and the experience of how it felt to finally meet myself in the middle and commit to loving her. So it goes a little something like this. I've been waking up every morning, not a ray of sunshine through my pain. I've been sleeping wrapped warm in sadness, yeah, not a smile upon my face. Until one day, glad day that you came around. I've been singing this song, trying to chase the clouds away. Hear me sing it now, sadness, I can't be with you. I don't need your hand no more. Laughter, I'd like to be with you. Won't you come knocking on my door. I'd like to spend a little time, baby, by your fire. I'd like to spend a little time, baby, by your door. And if you call me smiling, baby, I'll come running. Oh, yeah, yeah, just to spend a little time, baby, by your door. Everyone, my loves, I'm so glad that you're here. A year later, just to check in on how little old me is doing, and me and mine. So I want to focus on creating pathways of light and helping us remember how to take those paths, how to create them for ourselves, and how to invite others along with us, and how to create a space that is inviting to the place of light and knowledge and understanding. So, in this first year of marriage, I've learned many things. I've seen the deepest grievances and ecstasies I have ever had the pleasure of working within myself. And when I realized how deep my well of love goes, all of a sudden, I was swimming in the deep end. The deepest end. I realized how important it is when we have something powerful. And I want to remind us how powerful we are, each of us. But when we have something powerful, which we do, it is important that given the right tools and the right space, which we can create, that we share that knowledge, that we share that power in the ways we see most divine, most incredible, and most helpful. And if we follow our pathways of light, it will be shown to us what those ways are. And we will know we are on the path of light when we feel that. And it is something that we do feel. Something that we all feel. And when we are there, and when we share that knowledge in that light, there will be expansion. There will be laughter. There will be deep feeling of connection to one another and to this ground and to this earth and to the many dimensions in between and to this universe and beyond and to that thing that's churning and yearning inside of us all. And I am so proud that we choose to be here on this plane, and we've all been magnetized here again together. I've been working on my light. Keeping that light, walking in the light. I've been working on feeling it inside and amplifying it to move darkness into neutrality. I envision the light. I feel the light here, right here. And I watch it expand to where the physical eye does not see. I really do this. I really do this. I see it here, and I imagine it expanding. It feels like a sphere that I'm in when I do it. And I try and do it as often as I can remember. I found a few things that are helpful. They may sound silly and simple, but I do mean them in earnest. I really do. One of them is spinning around in a circle. And one of them is humming. So I feel these are just more specific forms of what? Singing and dancing. So we know that singing and dancing is healing. We know this. That is why I know most of you, because we come together and do this. And I believe this is even more powerful when we do this as we know we are healing the earth. As we do it with the intention of knowing that we are amplifying our own light and the light of those around us. And we are meant to be with one another when we can show up. But I've learned, or obviously I've been learning this one for a while, no kidding. I've married myself. Space. Space, and choosing that divine space for yourself. And putting yourself first so that you can have enough time alone to contemplate these things to the degree that you feel your own light. You know your light. You know what it looks like, tastes like, smells like, feels like. So that when you're in a space full of people, you can distinguish your light from theirs, should you want to. And you can do a blending, start mixing and matching. That's so fun to collaborate and co-create. It's wonderful. I mean, you're already doing it, even when you're alone. And that's the thing. We are so powerful. We are so of light that when we decide to make that shift and focus on our light and amplify our light, it is affecting the worlds around us instantaneously. So once we can feel and know that in ourselves, we can start to bring that out to the worlds around us, intentionally, out of the woodwork, out of these woods, like what I'm doing. I brought mine all the way down the road to Randy's. Look out, world. But yeah. Yes. It's a scary thing sometimes. It's something that takes courage to stand firmly in the light that you believe to be your own, and to continue to walk the pathways of light as you enter spheres where there are many pathways laid out before you. And remember your powerful autonomy. Remember your powerful choice that you have to make. And it will be black and white to you. You will see and you will feel if it is right. But you know, on the other hand, as important as it is that we bring our message to our people, as many as we can, it is equally important to have compassion for others and for ourselves, because it is not going to fall together perhaps the first time, or the second time, or the third time. But still we know we can find that light when we come back and we regroup with ourselves. And in some way, we will be uplifted by making that quest, that push, that leap of faith to at least manage bring this out of our own personal divine spaces. And as we do that, it will become more familiar to us. I want to share a story with you that was given to me by an elder, Sunny Baba. So, I was sitting in a tent making these moccasins with this man for 4 days. And he told many stories. And he told a story about how he adopted his 4 children. And two he had adopted were how say? they felt a lot of neglect from the situation that they were in. And they were 7 and 10, so they were older children. And I think as children get older, it sinks in a bit, that environment that they're in. And so he takes them out into the woods and shows him his way of life, which is one with the earth. And sometimes they would start to feel. Those feelings arise within them again. And it would overwhelm them and they would begin to cry. And Sonny would say, well, what's wrong? And they're like, I feel that feeling again. And he said, I told them that whenever that feeling comes, to say to it that you see it. To say, I see you. And I've been practicing that. And it's been very helpful to say when you feel something entering your sphere again. And the moment it does, to acknowledge it and say that you see it. And I think when we're able to see things, and we say that we see things, then we're able to accept that thing because we are able to see it. And this observer image has been very useful to me. I see you. When we see, then we can walk that path with our eyes open in order to see and feel our way to the next luminous fiber. And once we find that, and once we harness that, and we hum, and we spin our way back to what we know is our creative light power. The power of creation. We are creators. And once we see that, it will be clear to us to be there. And to practice being there as much as we can, as we build upon our ability. We are unlocking our instincts. We are unlocking our trust in ourselves to truly know. And to trust that others know themselves. But perhaps we don't know what they know. Perhaps we aren't on the same page. But they know for them. And we know for us. We trust that we know for us. We trust that as we move and as we wake up each morning, we know for us. So, sometimes my wife will blind herself to that trust. She'll come home sometimes, so-and-so accused me of witchcraft. So-and-so thinks I'm too loud, too overbearing, intense, selfish. So-and-so this and that and the other. I shake her shoulders and say, yes, you are. Congratulations. and so am I. And together, we will be heard, felt, and known deeply and complexly. And how we will be understood will change, because it is a seed we have planted that will grow in the souls of people and rise from the underground of their being. And the germination process will be varied. If that's not the finest witchcraft, I'll be darned. So, I'll take up my wand here and cast a spell of light seeds into your vessels. You cannot stop me. The seed is there and gathering resources to sprout. This seed gains nourishment from the light inside you. And as it grows, it will require more and more light. This you must provide for it, because the more light you feed it, the more it grows. And we want our seeds to grow. And as our light seed grows and winds like a vine through our veins, reaching out of our fingertips to the beyond space, as it grows, durable and connected as a blanket of webbed mycelium, we begin to merge with it. It becomes more us. We become more it. An intricate marriage. A merging of selves. An alignment of purpose. A massive connectivity. And from here, and most powerfully from here, we spread our spore. We bloom with many flowers, producing fruits and seeds. We send our tap roots in absolutely all directions. And we create more pathways of light and highways of frequency and freeways of feeling. And this provides a space for movement. Movement is what we want. Moving is feeling. Feeling is knowledge. Feeling is creative. And when we feel ourselves creative, and we know we are creators, we also know we are destroyers. And this means we are choosers. In our dynamic beings and dualistic experience, consisting of different dimensions differentiated by vibrational frequency, coexisting. And as creators, destroyers, and choosers, we can create our existence in high frequency dimensions, and we can destroy pathways to low frequency dimensions. And we can choose this as often as we do. And the more we choose to nurture, and the more we choose to nurture our light knowledge, the more our our network will grow and merge. And with the sugars and spice of creation and destruction and choice, we can blend in the everything nice of love frequency, which acts as a catalyst, like the wax on the bottom of your sled. The love will deliver more smoothly and swiftly your execution of creation and destruction, your light knowledge. We can wickedly create and gracefully destroy. We are fast-growing vines. We are efficient decomposers. We are kudzu. And we are mushrooms. And we fulfill and fill fully a prophecy of liberation. As we align with purpose and focus on feeding our light seeds, we align with ourselves, selves plural, and there is a merging of selves. The selves of the past, future, and present. In doing this, we acknowledge and honor not only our physical ancestry and blood lineage, but the lineage of our DNA, the lineage of our soul, and see our many faces combined and aligned, and feel our full spectrum being. I drink from this traditional Navajo wedding vessel to symbolize the merging of selves. I drink of both and all sides of myself, as they are much more powerful together, influencing one another and creating expansion. Deeper understanding of things that cannot be understood the way we've been taught to understand them. And I have a good joke about the way we were taught to understand things. I think, wow, I must be a mushroom because everybody leaves me in the dark and keeps feeding me bullshit. Believe it or not, I found that one in a book of feminist graffiti from the 70s. Let's keep it alive. Okay. I'd like to move to the renewal of vows. I vow to be less surprised and surprising to myself, but known and knowing of myself. I vow to feel and follow my feelings. I vow to remember and to destroy the damnesia that clouds my galactic ancestral knowledge and the lineage of my soul. I vow
You've got mail.
to take responsibility and initiative for my own healing. I vow to ask directly for the help I need and communicate my readiness and receptiveness to more the knowledge that propels my spirit housed in this beautifully powerful body and beyond of mine. I vow to give thanks and continually honor all entities that see me and all the different me's in all their unique expressions of disdain, despair, shyness, absence, love, knowing, sparkle, power, long-windedness, and glamour. I honor that these entities follow with me. Allow me to learn my own ways and reflect with impeccable effortlessness a mirror image. I vow to continue learning the stories, telling the stories, showing the stories. So welcome to my vibrational show and tell. A tell-all of my findings with the most potential to penetrate my own boundaries and yours. Or as far as I can tell, what happens to be surfacing in my consciousness as relevant. Marriage, to myself, continues unfolding to be the perfect everlasting metaphor, almost as everlasting as the paint on my Tahoe. I like to speak with you in metaphors and imagery because I find it very useful. I find it a very useful tool for finding and connecting to meaning and symbolic purpose. Imagine my words to you as an art exhibit, a gallery of my expressions. I honor your trust in me with your time, your books, your babies, your hopes, your dreams, your trying extremes, your jokes. You folks are really something. And let me tell you one thing. I love you. My love expression is an act of courage and vulnerability and strength. My love that I am realizing for myself is a revolving door. And each time it cycles and comes back around, I jump in and ride the orbit for longer and longer. And as I get tossed out of the orbit, I envision my readiness to leap back in at the next vital opening. I get dizzy just thinking about it. But my homesickness overpowers my fear of the uneasiness that comes before returning and integrating and merging and dancing, spinning, surrendering to the next revolution that will cast me into orbit once again. So with a broomstick, I will dust my ancient wings and again take to the skies in flight. And to wrap it up, I'd like to sing another Joan Armatrading song. I dedicate this one to us, to playfulness, to our grandmothers and our grandfathers, and to our coming of age. And it goes a little something like this. Have you met my family? Wouldn't take long to know them well. And though they number from 1 to 1,000,000, in this house we all dwell. Say hello to Jo, she's a goddess, and to Paul, he is a saint, and to Adam is from the forest, and to Jane all day she paints. You ask me how I feed them, and I will tell you no lies. 'Tis Anne, she brings the sunshine, and you can see it in her eyes. Johnny tends the garden, and little David sows the seeds. Our manna is from heaven. He gives us all we need. There's Peter, oh, he's a piper, and he will never grow old. So I bid you welcome, welcome, brothers, welcome to the fold. You ask me how I feed them, and I will tell you no lies. 'Tis Anne, she brings the sunshine, and you can see it in her eyes. Johnny tends the garden, and little David sows the seeds. Our manna is from heaven. She gives us all we need. To y'all, and perhaps we can all share some food together now. I love you. I said what I needed to say. So cozy in here, and I can't wait to hear all your songs.
Correct. But lately something's changed, it ain't hard to define. Just he's got himself a girl and I wanna make her mine. And she's watching him with those eyes, and she's loving without a body, I just know it. And he's holding her in his arms, say late at night. You know that I just need a girl. You know I just need a girl. Where can I find a woman like that? I played along with this charade.